The world grieves over losing a beloved 90s icon and true fighter, Shannen Doherty. The 53-year-old actress lost her lengthy battle with cancer on July 13th. According to Shannen's publicist, Leslie Sloan, she was surrounded by her loved ones as well as her dog, Bowie. Doherty kept her fans updated on her treatment, fears, and hopes. Just weeks before the tragic news, Shannen published her last Instagram post. A clip from her Let's Be Clear podcast revealed that she had to go back to chemotherapy for an indefinite time for her stage 4 breast cancer.
That's not something that I can predict. It's not something my doctors can predict. And it's scary. It's like a big wake-up call.
The actress had been open about her disease ever since she was diagnosed in 2015.
The only thing I hope is that I handle it with as much grace as humanly possible and that I can help someone. And I know I already have because I read their posts and comments on Instagram, and it makes me feel good that I've had any kind of impact on someone.
And she became a true inspiration to fellow fighters. Olivia Munn, who revealed her own breast cancer diagnosis in March, shared on her Instagram that she was absolutely heartbroken over Shannen's passing. Munn recalled how she became instant friends with her childhood hero. Apparently, the two bonded through a shared battle and a desire to help other women.
Looking back on the last text she sent me just a couple months ago, she asked how I was doing and if she could do anything for me. True to form, Shannen was offering her support, even though she was in the final stage of fighting this horrific disease. Fly so high, my friend.
One of the first celebrities to pay tribute to Doherty was her charmed co-star, Alyssa Milano. Although the Hallowell sisters had their long history of conflicts off-screen, Milano was quick to express her condolences.
It's no secret that Shannen and I had a complicated relationship, but at its core was someone I deeply respected and was in awe of. She was a talented actress, beloved by many, and the world is less without her.
Another charmed star, Rose McGowan, posted a clip of shared memories with Doherty along with a heartfelt message.
Shannen was passion. Shannen knew how to be a star because she was one since childhood. Her work ethic inspiring to the end. Our lives had been intertwined in a unique way. We laughed at dark forces who wanted us to hate each other. Instead, we chose love and respect. A soft-hearted badass as there ever was. A force of energy that will live forever in hearts. Rest now, warrior. We will never forget you, dear sister.
Ted King, aka Inspector Andy Trudeau, recalled their on-screen bond.
We created a special television couple for the ages. My heart goes out to your family. # Andy and Prue.
Doherty's colleagues from Beverly Hills, 90210, also honored her memory. Jason Priestley, who portrayed Brandon Walsh, was shocked and saddened to learn about the passing of his friend.
She was a force of nature, and I will miss her.
Carol Potter, who played Brenda's mom Cindy, wrote on her Instagram,
"What a journey she has been on. Gone too soon. Throughout, she stayed true to herself and gave us an example of courage and perseverance in facing her own death."
Brian Austin Green, aka David Silver, called Doherty a sister. He shared his emotional message on Instagram stories.
You loved me through everything. You were a big part of my understanding of love. I'll miss you more than I know how to process right now. Thank you for the gift of you.
Gabrielle Carteris, who played Andrea Zuckerman, recalled the iconic on-screen couple Shannen made with the late Luke Perry.
So young, so sad. May you R.I.P. Shannen. I know Luke is there with open arms to love you.
Tori Spelling shared that she doesn't have the words yet. Jenny Garth is still processing her tremendous grief.
Our connection was real and honest. We were so often pitted against each other, but none of that reflected the truth of our real relationship, which was one built on mutual respect and admiration. I will miss her and will always honor her deeply in my heart and in my memories.
Director Kevin Smith, who collaborated with Doherty in 1995's Mallrats, thanked her for their 30 years of friendship.
I and the rest of the known universe used to watch The Girl from Heathers every week on Beverly Hills 90210. While Shannen was no shrinking violet and she gave as good as she got, particularly to the paparazzi, she was never anything but sweet to me. She's died way too soon. I already miss you, Dodo.
Other celebrities who paid tribute to Shannen in the comments on her last post included Jason Momoa, Kate Beckinsale, and Selma Blair, who wrote,
"Thank you for showing us how to keep going. Rebel heart."
The actress indeed kept going until the very end. She simply refused to slow down. She took on acting jobs and shared her treatment milestones with the hashtag #CancerSlayer.
I do want to work. I love working. Working fuels me. It makes me feel healthier. It makes me feel better.
Last year, she decided to tell it all and launched a podcast, Let's Be Clear with Shannen Doherty. There, she revealed what happened in her 3 marriages and her hit projects, Charmed and 90210, as well as how she coped with losing her father.
It's extremely, extremely personal. I talk about my cancer journey, which is obviously a huge component to the podcast.
Shannen Doherty first received her heartbreaking diagnosis in 2015. After intense chemotherapy, she went into remission in 2017. However, 3 years later, the disease came back.
My first reaction is always concern about how am I going to tell my mom, my husband.
You're worried about everyone else around you.
I think so.
Stage 4 breast cancer that spread into my bones.
In 2023, Shannen underwent complex brain surgery. As if that wasn't enough, she learned about her husband's affair and filed for divorce after 11 years of marriage. Previously, she had called Kurt Iswarienko her biggest support.
My marriage was always strong, but it's made my marriage, 1,000 times stronger. I could not have gotten through this without my husband.
The star remained optimistic about her future and tried every protocol possible to defeat her disease.
I'm not done with living. I'm not done with loving. I'm not done with creating. I'm not done with hopefully changing things for the better.
At the same time, she was preparing for the worst and selling her belongings to make the transition after her death easier for her loved ones. Shannen even shared specific instructions for her funeral. She wanted her ashes to be mixed with those of her dog and her dad, and scattered in one of the locations they loved, like Malibu. Doherty also liked the idea of growing her remains into a tree. As for her wake, Shannen wanted it to be a love fest without unwanted guests.
I don't want people to be crying or people to privately being like, thank God that's dead now.
The actress is survived by her mother, Rosa. She will be deeply missed by her numerous friends, colleagues, and fans. Rest in peace, Shannen. Thank you for all the light you brought to this world.